welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the SimZone. We're here for the first round of the PS5 GT3 Championship, and we are at the infamous COTA. A lot of people, a lot of drivers, a lot of sim racers. I know, don't particularly enjoy this track. I think mainly because of the track limits. Might see quite a few drive-throughs today, but hello to everyone who is watching currently. We've got 5 minutes left of this qualifying session. At the moment, it's Melvin, also known as Ron, there, sitting on provisional pole with a 2:07.787. A very quick time there from Melvin. Hooschii only 1/10 back here in the McLaren. Viper only 2/10 back here. Good to see Viper back on track. Oh, and that lovely livery there. Yeah, he's back with us on PS5. He's been out for about a season or so, but he's still looks like he's got it. Only 2/10 there to Melvin. It's very, very close at the top so far. On such a big circuit, you would expect the lap times to be a bit more spaced out, but they're not currently. BST NNA currently in P4, 5/10 off at the moment. Kenny in P5, only 9/10 off. Same, likewise with Ollie, only 9/10 off as well. SVW sitting in P7 in the Porsche this season. So change of cars here for SVW. Lager in P8 at the moment, a second off, followed by FRL LJ, who is not in the BMW, he's in the Audi. That's just another bug here on console. We love bugs, don't we, on ACC? But Lepria currently at P10 in that funky looking livery. It almost reminds me of the livery that George Boothby was running on PC in the Honda. It's quite similar to that, actually. I don't know if Lepria's gone for the same approach, try and create the ugliest livery on track. But Barth to Bones in P11 is where he's about to come across the line. Can he improve? No improvement there for Barth to Bones. Number 70 Honda. It's not Honda, that's not Honda. That's a McLaren. No idea why I said Honda, but I believe in the background that was one of the Lexuses. Lord Perth. Only 2 Lexuses on track here. Lord Perth being one of them. Windsor, the other one. In P22 currently, but we do have 3 reserves for tonight. Mitch being one of them, Yaroslav and King Quinn, all unable to qualify as they are reserve drivers. They'll be starting at the back of the grid in this race. Looks like Viper has taken provisional pole here, 2:07.4. Hipping Melvin to pole, almost 4/10 there, but Melvin is about to come across the line here. Let's see if he has found any more time whatsoever. He's going to cross the line with no improvement, unfortunately. But looks like Hooschii. Where is Hooschii on track? Coming down a long back straight here, almost into sector 3. But I think this is where the Porsches are going to struggle. BST NNA currently sitting in P3 now, as he comes into turn 1. But yeah, that's really where the Porsches are going to struggle. As we know, they're not very quick on the straight lines compared to the other GT3 cars. So yeah, they're going to be very, very vulnerable there. Ollie still sitting in P5 now, a second off, but it's very, very close at the top still, with the top 4 within 5/10 of each other. Good to see Guitar Rich, Simmermello, Pavel, Kenny as well. He's currently on track. Simleague Pro showing his support for Kenny and Windsor. If you are watching, be sure to say hi in the comments. Let us know who you're supporting as well. But Oliarsar, I believe, is he in the pits? That's not very helpful, Mr. Cameraman. He's either in the pits or he's disconnected, but I think he's sat in the pits. Well, let's hope he is. Would be a shame if he has disconnected. He does have time to rejoin though. Lager still in P6 here. Let's look further down. Big Dasmo's sitting in the pits. Doesn't feel like he can improve, so he'll be starting P23. Then he doesn't have enough time to put in another lap. We've got the number 13 car about to cross the line, so that is SVW, who is about to cross the line now in the Porsche. Can he find any more time? He needs 1/10 to improve, and no more time found there for SVW, but he does have this last chance to improve. The Priya there returns the car to the pits, puts it in P8. The next car across the line is going to be Paul Moy in the 27 Mercedes, currently sitting in P21, 3.8 seconds off. You see they're using a bit of a curb, but not too much to go onto those sleeping policemen on the outside. They can send you flying into the air. You won't be driving a car anymore, you'll be in a plane, but he comes up towards the penultimate corner. Looking nice and smooth there, up towards the final corner now, heavy braking zone. Once again, using just enough curb. Is it going to be an improvement for Paul Moy? Marshall waving the green flag, but Paul Moy, no, I think he's backed off, so yeah, no improvement there for Paul, unfortunately. It looks like Lord Proth has just finished there. We've got the 433 car, which is Di Majusto. Is coming up towards the final few corners as well. No, that's his lap gone. Just pushed a bit too hard, a bit too early on the throttle there. And that's what I was talking about with the sleeping policeman on the outside. But we've got two cars left out on track to finish their quali laps. Melvin, who's currently sitting P2, can he put it on pole is the question. He's only got a few more corners to go. And actually, the number 15 car who's out on track at the moment, Lager, is on an invalid lap. So it just leaves it down to Melvin. And he's continuing this lap. He's not going to go into the pit. So let's see what he can do. Is it going to be pole? And no, it's not. So he does improve ever so slightly, but it's not enough then to gain pole positions. There we have it. Viper, after a long break, has returned and has put it on pole here with a 2-minute 7.4. Melvin in P2, just 2/10 off, nearly 3/10 off, and then Hooschii there in P3, 4/10 off. He'll be starting on the second row then with BST NNA, also 4/10 off. So very, very close here between the top four, as it's been throughout the whole qualifying session. It's going to be difficult coming into turn one with the start-finish straight being so wide and the track narrowing on exit into turn one. Drivers are going to have to be careful. I think patience is going to be very important for most of these drivers. They're going to want to keep their nose clean coming into turn one, because picking up damage on a track like this not going to help with pace whatsoever. With this many fast corners, if you get a bit of front splitter damage, you're going to be losing heaps of time in that first and second sector. And while we're waiting for everyone to get gridded here, we just want to thank all our patrons here at the SimZone. Definitely wouldn't be able to be running without you guys, and we've definitely made it a long way since the start. We've got quite a few sponsors. Make sure to check out our sponsors. Links are in the description as well, and if you are interested in becoming a patron, be sure to check out the link, which should also be in the description as well. If not, you'll be seeing it on screen very shortly. But yeah, you get some extra perks from being a patron as well, and yeah, be sure to check them out. Definitely helps us out, and helps you guys out as well with picking your numbers and your cars before anyone else does. There's many more benefits. I won't be able to list them all. off the top of my head, but yeah, check them out if you wish. So here we go. We are approaching nighttime here, or sunset at least, at COTA. So the race, we might be seeing some headlights go on. The race might be fully dark by the time we reach the end. And we can see the track quite rubbered in now. Optimum track. You can see the rubber, the marbles on the left hand side there. But we also do have a full formation lap. The drivers will be getting ready now, putting the correct amount of fuel in. We do have a mandatory pit stop in this race as well, so drivers will have to refuel, and they have the option to change tyres as well. We can see, we might see a few undercuts and overcuts. It's what we've usually seen in our previous seasons, but this has probably been one of the fullest grids we've had on PS5 so far. I know we may even be looking to open up a second division, a second tier, second split, whatever you'd like to call it, very soon. Jan in the comments saying too many drivers he's rooting for. Guitar Rich saying keeping an eye on Quinn. Quinn obviously a reserve, but he still can score points. Reserves, of course, if a regular driver is unable to continue in the championship, a reserve will take their place and keep the points that they've scored in any races that they have attended. So that's a good thing. So that's a good thing for the reserves that we do here at the SimZone. But here we go, onto the formation lap now. Someone flashing the lights already. Looks like everyone has pressed drive, so that's good. No one's starting from the pit lane. Yeah, we can see headlights already on from a lot of the drivers. Now let's see if we can quickly get rid of this. There we go. That Circuit of the Americas sign there was on our screen, but thank God it's gone. It would be nice if ACC could fix the cameras as well. We don't have onboard cameras, but trackside cameras will do for now. We've got the onboards of some of the drivers here as well, so we'll be flicking to those throughout the races. So that's, I guess that's a substitute for the onboards. Jan saying, wow, Viper and pole. Yes, he is back and he's in good form. Very good form. And Melvin, I'd like to say for once, but I think he's got a proper challenge now with a lot of the returning drivers. We obviously used to have PS5 on Saturdays and now we moved it back to Sundays, so a lot of the returning drivers who weren't able to make it last season are now back with us, which is great to see. And it gives us a fuller grid, more competition, especially for the top runners. But we do have drivers from pretty much all over the world participating here at the moment. We've got, you can see at the bottom of your screen, the nations just scrolling there. And obviously the drivers' car numbers as well. But yeah, it's good to see what sim racing does. Brings everyone closer together from all over the world. Now, regarding the pit stops as well, the drivers do have a pit window. It's pretty much similar to what we do on PC. So the pit window opens 20 minutes into the race. Hopefully no one pits before that, because if they do, they're going to have to serve another stop, and in a 1 hour race that can be very, very costly. It's okay if it's endurance, but 1 hour, I think for most people nowadays, is considered a sprint, especially with people doing solo 12-hour races, which is absolutely crazy. I know Jan has experienced one of those. I think he's done 24 hours solo? Can't quite remember. Jan, you can let us know. And we see the drivers lining up side by side now. Jez, if you can send me a message on Discord about the question, or type it in here and I'll have a look at it in a moment. But we're just going to concentrate on this race start before we look at the chats. Viper on pole on the outside though, coming into turn 1. Melvin on the inside. Viper on the inside, Melvin on the outside. We on green. Has Viper got a good start here? Melvin's slightly ahead now. Is he going to try and cover off Viper? No. Melvin moving across. Already a bit of contact between the top two. And I think that was Melvin's fault, to be honest. That we've got a bit of carnage in the background. Everyone going wide. And oh my god, that's not the start we wanted to see at all. A few yellow flags going out there, but looks like everyone has got going once again, so it didn't look to be too bad. Just a bit of door rubbing, and oh, that's SVW off in the background. But yeah, it didn't look to be too bad. No major collision, just a bit of door rubbing. As you can see, there's not really much damage on any of these cars. Let's look further down. Kingpin and SVW with a slight bit of damage, but it doesn't look to be too much at all. And Melvin dropping down to P20 now. Where is Viper? Down to P2, so he's still towards the top, but he's lost the position there. Who is that? Lapria very late on the brakes, completely missing his braking point there, and luckily Viper avoided that, and he's now got I think that's Hooschii on the back of him. Yes, Hooschii very, very close, looking to the inside, using the slipstream of the Ferrari in front, but he's not going to go for that move, backs out of it. And Viper holds on. Lapria very late onto the brakes once again. I think he's really struggling here to find his braking markers at the start of this race. But let's hope he can get settled down, because he has got a bit of a train behind him. BST NNA, followed by Lager, then FRLJ, then Kenny, then Bound to Bones, then Bezo, who is a new driver here at the SimZone. CosmiCrusader in the BMW has just been overtaken there by Ethan. Cosmic bouncing over the inside curb there. Luckily holds it together. Chef BS1 currently running in P13 in the Ferrari there, you can see, followed by Edinomainen in P14. No, it's not actually. He's dropped further down the order, so he's who is he behind? He's behind Paul Moy, I think. That is either P16 or P17. CosmiCrusader into the pits. What's happened here? He doesn't look to have any damage on this car. Has he put enough fuel in? That might be due to fuel. Either CosmiCrusader has an issue, or he's kept his qualifying fuel in. We go back to the race leader, Ollie RSR, with the fastest lap of the race as well. But it's only been 1 or 2 laps here to begin, so Viper's still very hot on the Bentley's tail, and he's actually catching up now. So these three, Ollie RSR, Viper and Hooschii, very, very close. Hooschii losing a bit of time, but he's going to catch up with the top two battling this hard. Lapria also not far behind, who may be able to catch up to them. He seems to have settled down now. Maybe had colder brakes at the start. They couldn't get the car stopped in time, but he is closing in the gap now. 1.6 seconds to P3 and P4. Lager there in the background. No, what's happened to Lager? He's had a disconnection. I think Lager has disconnected, unfortunately. That's a real shame. Big Dasmo into the pits as well. He's got some heavy damage, I believe, so that's what's caused him to pit. But it's still, as it were, Ollie RSR in P1, Viper in P2, and Hooschii in P3 was caught right up now. And this is allowing Ollie to pull away ever so slightly. If I were these two, Viper and Hooschii, I wouldn't be battling too hard at the moment. It doesn't look like Hooschii is at just yet. He's just waiting patiently. Wants to try and break away from the rest of the pack, I assume, before trying to go for any moves at this point in the race. Lapria now dropping back 2 seconds to Hooschii, 2.3 seconds to Lapria. Slowly falling into the clutches of BST NNA. It's only a second and a half behind at BST. Obviously in the Porsche has got some quick cars behind him. FRLJ there in the Audi Evo 2 and Kenny then in the Ferrari. Kenny having a great start to this race into P7, only 4 tenths behind LJ here. He's looking strong for a top 10 finish, maybe even top 5, but it's still early doors here, plenty of time left in the race, and we also have the pit stops to throw a spanner into the works, so there's a lot to think about for these drivers. But for now, they'll just be racing on track. Pit window does open in about 14 minutes, so it's pure racing up until then. Shows, is assists allowed for the lead? Yes, it is allowed. No, not to worry about that. It looks like two of the Mercs going side by side here. Beza and Ithan. Beza holding his position in P9. Ithan trying to move around the outside, but it didn't work for him just yet. He's really keeping on the pressure here, though, to Beza. But as a result, Chef is now caught this battle, and look behind. We've got Paul Moy, Melvin, who's back up into P13 now, so he's gained 7 positions in the last couple of laps. But they're definitely catching up to this battle up ahead, so we could possibly see a 6-car battle very, very shortly. And Edinomainen in the 89 Aston. Surprisingly, not many Astons on the grid. I believe that's the only one we have. It's very surprising. But someone in the comments showing their support, Tabs are saying Edinomainen has the most beautiful car. Yeah, I mean, the Aston, you can't fault it for its looks. It is a very beautiful car, is the Aston, and that livery looks quite nice. It's a simple matte green. I don't know what you call that dark green. Not khaki, is it? Who knows? If anyone in the comments if anyone's watching, please let me know in the comments, because I have no idea. But it does look quite nice. He is slowly losing a bit of time now to Paul Moy, who is in the thick of it at the moment. Actually, no, he's not losing much time. It's the deltas that haven't updated just yet, but this battle is going on strong. Melvin is now caught up. He's got a bit of damage on the front. Is he going to look for a move here into the braking zone on Chef? No, he's not. He's going to stay where he is. Chef very late on the brake, so that's going to allow Melvin down the inside. And he's going to say thanks for that, but Chef, oh no, Chef, he got a bit of oversteer, I think, and lost the car there. Made contact with Paul Moy, but Chef came out much worse there. And he's going to have to do a bit of a 3-point turn here to get the car facing the right way. And look how many positions he's lost. He's going to have to wait for all the cars to get past to rejoin back onto the circuit. And he's down into I think that's P21 he might be down into. Oh, P22. Wow, he's lost so many positions. But we'll go back to that... We'll go back to this battle for P2. Oli Asar has now opened up a gap of 1 second with these two battling quite hard at the moment. That's going to go in favour of Oli, but the fastest lap of the race not showing at the moment. Might update shortly, but yeah, it's not showing anyone as the fastest lap of the race just yet. Back to this battle we go. It's now. It is, looks like it's the Mercedes of Ithan, followed by Kenny, who's got Bezaby right behind him. He looks towards the inside, coming up towards turn 1, and he's got that move into the braking zone. Melvin's going to get past as well, so Kenny losing 2 positions in one corner. He drops down to P10. Edinomainen, then followed by LJ, then Paul Moy, then Yaroslav, then, no, Yaroslav getting ahead of Paul Moy, so Yaroslav up into P13, there we go, it's just updated. Did we just announce P15? He said he's using the Mercedes for the first time, and driving the Circuit of the Americas for the first time as well. But he's running up in P15, which is quite a respectable position for his first time here. And he's now looking to gain. He's actually got past. No, he hasn't got past Walmart yet, but he's looking for a move. We've got a bunch of cars here. It's great racing. Edinomainen now having to defend against LJ in the Audi. He's got the slipstream. He's going to be much quicker on the straight. Is he going to look towards the inside? He is. I think he's pulled out the slipstream a bit too early because he's not going to have enough to go down in the inside, or is he? He's later on the brakes, and looks like even with that damage, he's got that move done. So up into P10 he goes. Edinomainen down into P11, and he's not going to be able to catch a break here with Yaroslav very close behind. He's had a very good start, obviously a reserve for this round, but he's moved up into P12 already, running his Ukrainian livery or Ukrainian colours on his car. It is a very good combination actually. He's used it on the Ferrari, I believe we've seen before, and on the Aston, and now back into the Lamborghini for Yaroslav, and he's pushing. He's catching up and making positions where it counts. Dimitrister now in a bit of trouble. He has got past Paul Moy, but Paul Moy looking for a gap. There wasn't one there, and there's been contact. Unfortunately, that is completely Paul Moy's fault. There wasn't space there whatsoever, but could be one left up towards the stewards. Obviously, it is post-race stewarding. And in the background here, we've got SVW. His car with a bit of damage on the front and the rear. And, Porsche's going to be very difficult to drive. It's not the easiest car at all to begin with. And now with a bit of damage, it might be even worse. But he's currently running in P16, so not too bad. And of course, we still have the pits to go. And I'm sure there's going to be quite a few drivers repairing their damage in their pit stops. And if SVW feels comfortable with the car, you may not need to repair the damage. You could save a few seconds in the pits and maybe jump ahead of these drivers in front of him. Paul Moy now looks to be battling with Walker having to go defensive here. Paul Moy looking towards the inside, and he's going to make contact again. Is Paul Moy. Paul Moy really struggling here, not stopping the car in time in these heavy braking zones, and there could be some hefty penalties for Paul at the end of this race. But Walker also with some damage on his car now. It looks like, is that Kenny? It is Kenny. So Kenny has had a bit of a mare. He's down to P16. He's got some severe damage in the front of that Ferrari, so he's definitely had some contact or lost it somewhere. But Walker looking down the inside once again. Paul Moy having to take evasive action. It's a bit of a lunge there from Walker, but he's made that move stick, and now he's going to have to hold off SVW. Paul Moy, I think, needs to calm it down a little. He's making a bit too late, especially when you're following cars in front and they've got damage. But Kenny seems to be struggling here. We might see him into the pits very early on. Let's hope his steering isn't bent, because if it is, I'm sure he'll be pitting before the pit window. But no, he's staying out here, so he's going to wait a few more laps. The pit window opens in about 6.5 minutes, so he's going to drive through the damage until the pit window opens. Let's look further down here. Windsor and Lord Piroth very, very close. Likewise is King Quinn and P. Mitch. P. Mitch, a reserve driver as well, but he's doing quite well here. Currently running in P19. King Quinn in the Nissan, which is great to see. Don't really see the Nissan being used much anymore, but King Quinn having to defend. He's got P. Mitch very close behind. Windsor and Lord Piroth are closing in on this battle, so we might see a 4-car battle here for P18. But that Nissan doesn't look very planted at the moment. We know it's going to be rapid on the straight. But in these corners, you can see how much time he's losing here to P. Mitch and the Lexus. The gap's not 8 tenths between these two anymore. It's about 3-4 tenths now. And King Quinn's going to need to think about defending very soon. The Lexus behind as well, also very quick on the straights, but it's going to be down to what setup and what wing they're running on the car. And look how close P-Mitch is here, and Kingpin running wide, luckily avoiding the sleeping policeman on the exit. But this is where P-Mitch would have got the better exit. I don't think it's going to be enough though for P-Mitch. He's too far back at the moment to send it down the inside, but is he going to try anyways? He looks towards the inside. Kingpin leaves in the room, and looks like he's made that stick just about. He's going to have the inside for the next corner. And yeah, what a move there from P-Mitch. Up into P18, Kingpin down into P19. Windsor is now involved in this battle. Lord Perth on the tail of this battle as well. He's a bit further behind, but with these three battling, he'll be able to catch up in no time. Let's go further forward to the battle for P2. Hooschii now with the fastest lap of the race. Let's have a quick look at what that is. It is a 207.7 for Hooschii. It's currently Lapria up into P2, BST NNA in P3, Oliosar down to P4, so he's made a huge mistake somewhere. He doesn't seem to have any damage on his car, so he's probably lost it himself. But Hooschii as well down into P5, so I don't know, maybe they've had some contact, or maybe they've had maybe they've both made mistakes. I do see a bit of damage on the rear end on the diffuser there of Hooshii's McLaren. Does Kenny have damage? Yeah, I believe that's an old comment, but yeah, he does. And it's good to see that he's going to continue until the pits open. That's probably the most sensible thing. As long as the car is drivable. It is, you don't want to be doing 2 stops and you'd lose less time. But look at this, Hooschii looking for a move here on Oliosar. He tried the switchback, it didn't quite work. Ollie closed the door, and he's more than entitled to do so. But we are going into the night now, so it is... I don't exactly know what the time is, but still a very warm track as well, 25 degrees out on circuit, even at this time of year, is absolutely crazy. Coming into turn 1, Hooshii's not close enough. Oliosar still holding on to his position, but BST NNA is going to be in a bit of trouble once we reach the straights here. He's got 2 very quick cars behind him, although the McLaren not the quickest on the straights either. The Bentley can hold up, so BST is going to have to make the most of these twisty parts on circuit. This is going to allow Lapria to pull away. He's already pulled nearly 2 seconds to P3 there, and he's only 2 seconds back to Viper, so Lapria, after a bit of a hesitant start, especially into the braking zones, he has now found his groove, and he is pushing the car to the limit. You can see here, using all of the track, and we'll see by the end of the straight what that delta is. The M4 is not the quickest on the straights, but he doesn't have to worry about that just yet. What's happened to Oliosar and Hooschii? Have they had more contact, because they are miles off of BST NNA now? It looks like Hooschii has got past Oliosar, and now Ollie having to defend from Bad to Bones. Melvin up into P7 already. He's looking towards the inside here. Bad to Bones runs slightly wide, and he's going to have the inside line, the outside for the next corner, and no, he's got that done into the braking zone. Looks like Bad to Bones may have let him through here. Doesn't really want to fight with Melvin, as he knows he's out of position. But that start was very costly for Melvin, and luckily for Viper, he managed to come out of that still in the top two. He's now in P1. The gap between Viper and Lapria, 3.4 seconds, so he's lost so much time there in that final sector. And I think Viper might be able to pull away here and extend that gap to Lapria. Lapria losing time to BST NNA now. BST obviously had to defend the last lap. He's got no pressure anymore. All the pressure is going to be on Lapria now in the next few laps. But the gap is coming down between these two. And a big slide there. Oh, not anymore. I spoke too soon. Commentator's curse. I spoke too soon. Pit window is now open. But yeah, the gap's back up to 2 seconds. It's possibly going to be more than that now with that big slide from BST NNA. Kenny into the pits. I did see that pit sign go up as soon as the pit window opened. So let's hope he got there just as it opened and not before. Because otherwise he's going to have to serve another stop here. Paul Moy on the back of SVW. And the Mercedes very quick on the straight, but these two carrying a lot of damage. DeedeeTKU doesn't have anywhere near as much as these two. So I think he's going to benefit on this long straight they're about to come up to. And he's already going to look for a move down the inside on Paul Moy. He looks for the inside but backs out of that. So he's going to focus on the exit here. You can see how much of a late apex he went for. I think he actually missed the apex ever so slightly. But he's going to get a longer... He's going to straighten the corner before this straight even more, but it's not going to be enough here. He is later on the brakes, looks to the inside, and a bit of a lunge there from DeedeeTKU. That was not great, but Paul Moy making contact there with SVW, and I don't think SVW or Paul Moy have been able to catch a break this race. Really unfortunate, but yeah, I think there's going to be quite a few penalties for Paul Moy at the end of this race, to say the least. But SVW going wide now. I think he's probably going to pit this lap after that collision to maybe get away from some of these drivers that he doesn't want to be near. But Viper now into the pits. He's going to drop right down the order. Surprising that he pitted while being in the lead for so long, and he had clean air as well. So an interesting choice of strategy from Viper. And there we go, SVW now into the pit. So that promotes Lapria into the provisional race lead. And you can see there now BST NNA 2.9 seconds back, so he's definitely lost time. His tyres are not going to be happy after that slide he had earlier. And he's saying 47 seconds of damage. How on earth did Kenny get that? He's on track now, so he won't be able to tell us. Maybe we'll get some interviews after the race, just to see exactly what happened there. Especially into turn one, I'm sure we can bring up a replay. Or try to. We know replays are slightly broken here on console. And there's our first drive-through. Paul Moy picking up a drive-through penalty. He's going to have to serve. He's going to have to be in the pits twice now. And this is what I mentioned earlier. Drive-through penalties, or track limits here at COTA, are absolutely horrible. And unfortunately, COTA has taken its first victim there in the name of Paul Moy. Now it looks like he is losing a bit of time on this straight as well to P-Mitch behind in the Lexus. But going back to the battle for P8, looks like, is that no, LJ has lost so much time. It shows he's only 3/10 back to Beza, but he's now on the back of the Ferrari. Whose Ferrari is that? I think that might be... Is that Chef's Ferrari? Yes, it is. And LJ now into the pit, so he's lost so much time there. Somehow. Hooschii still with the fastest lap of the race. Ithan and BSTNNA into the pits now as well. And Paul still yet to serve that drive-through penalty. He's not going to do it this lap. He's still got his mandatory pit stop to do as well. Looks like CosmiCrusader, he used to run the Lexus, is now on the M4. He's on the back of Lord Piroth here. Piroth with the neon wheels, and no, we've got a stop and go penalty for BSTNNA. So that's going to be really crucial for Lepria. He's going to be able to, he doesn't have to worry about the Porsche behind him anymore, and Lord Piroth there having to cut across the track slightly, but it looks like he may lose his position to CosmiCrusader. No, he doesn't. Cosmic's not going to be happy with that. Looks like Piroth had a bit of understeer there. Yeah, if that comes down to the stewards, it's going to be a bit of a tricky one, although Lord Piroth didn't really gain anything. And CosmiCrusader with a very weird line there through that left-hander. I think he's letting Viper through. Who, surprisingly, it shows down in P23. Which, if that is the case, which it looks like it is, Viper has had a mare. He's done something completely wrong in the pits. And I think this is going to drop him, well, he's not even anywhere near Ollie or BSTNNA. Let's hope that's not correct. But with King Quinn 7 seconds ahead, it's looking very likely that Viper has made a huge mistake. Paul Moy now into the pits for his drive-through penalty. That's a real shame for Viper. And BSTNNA in the pits as well for his stop-go 30. Looks like the field's spreading out ever so slightly. Big Dasmo still yet to serve his mandatory pit stop. We did see him pit earlier to repair some damage. He's running on his own for a bit at the moment. But this is usually what we see, the grid spacing out ever so slightly when the pit window is open, but it brings the grid even closer towards the end of the race, and we usually get some very big trains towards the end of the race, like we saw on just this Friday at Watkins Glen. I mean, that was non-stop battle. We had even throughout the pit stop period, there was battles going on left, right and centre. So definitely couldn't miss. There's definitely no chance of having a break for us viewers, or for you viewers and us commentators. But yeah, you definitely couldn't miss any action there. It looks like Edinomainen now into the pits. Yaroslav keeping it out on track, so he's going to be in clean air here. Edinomainen might be going for an undercut. We know how strong the undercut is. We've seen it work very well before. We go further down towards this battle. Looks like Viper has got past Kingpin. He's now looking to get past one of the Lexuses, I believe. That is Windsor. He's yet to serve his mandatory pit stop. Looks like Viper struggling to get past at the moment. These two on different strategies. But yeah, unfortunate. Stuart in the comments saying, also known as Lager, saying his connection has been fine all day. When it counts, it's come to the race. And unfortunately, it has been disconnected. We've got another stop-go 30 here for Beza. It seems like the track limits and the pit lane really catching some people out here. But yeah, it's unfortunate, Lager. Really unfortunate. I think if you get one one slight dropout, what I meant to say, even if it's for a split second, it'll just boot you from the lobby. And it looks like DeedeeTKU has now picked up a stop-go 30 for speeding the pit lane as well. So they're going to drop right down the order. They might actually be okay. It's going to be close between DeedeeTKU and Walker. But Beza B is definitely going to lose a position to Edinomainen there. So Edinomainen is going to be a gifted P12. Looks like Viper's struggling to get past Windsor here. And that's allowed Kingquin to catch back up. It looks like we've got, I think that is CosmiCrusader in the BMW behind them. Yes, it is. Now he's obviously yet to serve his mandatory pit stop, but it's allowing him to catch up to Windsor, who he is on the same lap with, and he is going to be battling with him if he can get a chance. And if I were Cosmic, I'd be pitting as soon as possible. Don't really want to be stuck in this battle. He's going to stay out. Windsor actually pits. So Windsor now into the pits. Yeah, CosmiCrusader should do the opposite. Stay out. As he I don't think he'll be catching... who is it? I don't think he'll be catching Viper and Kingquin just yet. Although, actually I might be mistaken. I'm very mistaken. He's already caught up. But Kingquin letting him through. So... Or is he letting him through? They still seem to be side by side. No, CosmiCrusader is going to lose even more time here, so it probably would have been smarter to enter the pits. And oh, a huge bit of oversteer from Kingquin. He's ended up into the wall. You can see that severe damage on the car. And he's struggling to get it going once again there into the grass. And that's really unfortunate for Kingquin. In Nissan, got a bit of oversteer there, and that's surely got to be another pit stop here for Kingquin. He's running such a good race there, and looks like we've got a drive-through penalty for BST NNA. This is what we're talking about. Track limits are horrible. Hooschii now into the pits. CosmiCrusader still out on track, so I think Big Dasmo and CosmiCrusader will be the only ones to pit. Paul is having his mandatory pit stop as well. Yeah, these drivers picking up these penalties for speeding in the pits and track limits really going to drop them down the order. You can see they're already moving down the order, and they haven't even served their stop-go 30 yet, or their drive-through penalty. And we go back to this battle for P11, P-Mitch and LJ. Looks like LJ has repaired his damage on his car, so that's in pristine condition at the moment, but P-Mitch has got a bit of bodywork damage on the front, maybe a bit of splitter damage as well. That's not going to help him through the corners one bit. Now we go into this long back straight. It looks like P-Mitch with a good exit, but likewise for LJ, he's followed him through. He's going to have the slipstream. The Lexus very quick on the straights, likewise is the Audi. And is it going to be enough for LJ to look towards the inside? He's closing in, he's closing in, he's closing in, but it's not going to be enough. He has a look, but P-Mitch goes slightly defensive, puts the car in the middle of the track. Therefore LJ is going to try for a switchback. He's going to be on the outside for the next corner. P-Mitch going defensive. He's going to take the tighter line, but it's not going to help him. Once again, LJ trying for another switchback there. Still side by side here. And LJ trying around the outside once more. I think P-Mitch might lose his position, but no, he takes the racing line. LJ's have to go off track. Rejoins, has made contact. I think that was LJ's fault completely there. P-Mitch took his normal racing line. LJ was not alongside enough to go around the outside. But has he saved it? Oh, somehow he's bounced off the barriers. he's continued there. I thought he would have been facing the wall, but P-Mitch with a mistake. And LJ has got straight back past there, so P-Mitch, unfortunately, either he made a mistake or he let him back through, but I definitely don't think that was P-Mitch's fault whatsoever. So yeah, looks like Big Dasmo is now pitted. King Queen into the pits for his repairs. That's probably going to be a couple of minutes of repairs. I think it was a very big collision with the wall. Not Jan who's watching. But wall or the Armco, whatever you want to call it. Then we're just, yeah, Viper has he's bottled this race. I think he's had a huge mistake in the pits. He's leading the race comfortably at quite a margin. I think it was four seconds or so. Now he's down into P21. So it's gone really bad there for Viper. CosmiCrusader still yet to pit. Where is he on track? He should. If I were him, I would have pitted that lap. It's still 4 minutes left of the pit window, so he's got enough time to do another. But if he doesn't pit this lap, he's going to be in some trouble here with the pit window. And we've got another drive-through penalty. Who is this for? King Quinn for speeding in the pit lane. So he's going to have to enter the pits for a third time. Is King Quinn, and that's going to... I don't think he's going to lose a position to Big Dasmo. Big Dasmo into the pits now. What's happened here? Imajusta now with a drive-through penalty. And it looks like a lot of people, a lot of drivers here running on their final warnings for track limits. And I think Big Dasmo might be retiring the car. I'm not too sure. He's parked it in the pits. Go back to the race leader, Lapria. Surprisingly, after a shaky start, that's the word I was looking for earlier, and he's now well in the lead, and Hooschii is 7-8 seconds back. It's looking good for Lapria at the moment. Let's hope I don't curse him. Where's CosmiCrusader? He's coming into Sector 3 now. But let's have a look at Big Dasmo. There we go. He's continuing down the pit lane once again. What a shame there for Viper and King Queen as well. He's picked up a drive-through penalty and Imajusta. And LJ now. God, I've got to stop saying the word drive-through. Every time I say it, someone else picks one up. So FRO LJ is definitely going to lose a position to P-Mitch, SVW, Windsor, maybe even Lord Perth. This is probably where we're going to see the most position changes. It's towards the end of the race, where concentration levels are low, people are going slightly wide off track, picking up drive-throughs. And CosmiCrusader, what's happened to Cosmic? Has he run out of fuel? I think he's run out of fuel on entry to the pits, and he's returned the car into the pits. He has run out of fuel, completely miscalculated that, and that's going to be huge time loss in the pits. He's returned the car to the garage, so it won't count as a mandatory pit stop. He's going to have to do another... Well, I think he's going to get a penalty for not pitting. Yeah, what happens? I think the game automatically gives you. Oh, it's not a game; it's a sim. ACC automatically gives you a penalty if you don't serve your pit stop. Or if you serve, yeah, you don't serve your pit stop within the pit window, you get a penalty. So I think it varies per track. The last time I remember someone getting 180 seconds, which is pretty much a whole lap. More than a lap, so more than a whole lap. It looks like LJ has served his drive-through penalty and merges in... Where is it? Come on, update. It says P15. There we go, pit window is closed. And the CosmiCrusader is still in the pits there. Obviously, once you use the return to garage button, you have to wait another minute and a half or 2 minutes. Can't quite remember what it is. Before you can get going again. There's going to lose probably 2 more laps here, with the penalty included. LJ on the back of Lord Perth, so this is live then. Positions are correct. The battle for P14. Lord Perth has gained so many positions just from people picking up drive-through penalties throughout the race, and it looks like as well. Where is Windsor? Windsor in P12 at the moment. He's running a great race so far. He's had a bit of bad luck last season. He's had some good battles, but unfortunately towards the end he seems to have... Oh, I don't want to speak too soon. We've still got 18 minutes left, but he's running really well at the moment in P12. Looks like that's the 913. That's King Quinn's drive-through cleared now. And you can see CosmiCrusader now dropping down the order as well. And we're just still yet to serve his drive-through penalty. I think he's going to have to do it this lap. As he pretty much got his penalty roughly the same time as King Quinn did. He is on the back of Viper. This could have been such a great battle. But it won't matter with Dim Justa's drive-through penalty. Fednad, we haven't really looked at today, running in the Porsche. He's had a quiet race, I believe. Those two behind him not on the same lap. If I'm correct, yeah, they're not on the same lap. That is the Lexus of... No, I don't think it's Windsor. I'm not sure who that was actually. Might have been Windsor. No? Who are we looking at? Didn't we just... oh well, I'm not sure who it was. We'll forget that. We'll go back to this battle. Lord Perth and LJ here. Still battling it out. Looks like LJ has actually got past. So Lord Perth down to P15. And LJ's going to try to pull away here. It's not going to be easy with the mighty Lexus behind in the slipstream. There we go. The last drive-through cleared. That was the 433 car of Dim Justa. And no, it was P-Mitch, that's who it was. I forgot there was a third Lexus here. I forgot there were 3 on track, and this battle still going on strong, so P-Mitch having to defend against SVW, although SVW looks towards the inside. He can be much later on the brakes there, and he's got that move done. Sparks flying there from the Lexus of P-Mitch, but he's going to have a look back up the inside here, into the final corner, still side by side. I think that's the first time SVW's been able to go side by side with someone without being spun around, so it's good to see. But I think oh, he holds on. SVW holds on. He's really going to struggle on these straights though, and coming up towards turn 1, he holds on once again, defending against P-Mitch. But they do have that's it. That's Fednad behind. He's not really involved in this battle, so he's just going to be sitting there patiently, watching it all unfold in front of him. Looking back to the race leader, the Priya, 10 seconds to Hooschii. He has massively extended that gap, and it's looking more likely that the Priya will be winning this race. As long as he can keep it consistent now and bring it home, he doesn't need to push the car. But Ithan and Batter Bones Oh, fighting. Hooschii down into P3. What's happened here? He's made a mistake somewhere. Melvin is up into P2 now. And he has repaired his damage in the pits. Hooschii making a few mistakes, just like that. Hooschii hasn't repaired his damage either, so he's still got that diffuser damage. That's going to be probably the thing that's losing him time here and causing him to make mistakes. We go back to this battle. Ethan and that lovely AMG Evo there didn't send it into turn 1. Batterbones went defensive. Now through these S's, it's not really much room for overtaking. It's not really any braking zones here. It's quite a fast section of the track. And really, to get past here, you have to rely on the other driver to make a mistake, as Batterbones gets a bit sideways on the exit, but manages to save it just in time. Now this is where the Mercedes is going to excel on this straight in the slipstream. And the McLaren is not the quickest car on the straights either, compared to the likes of the Mercedes. But is it long enough? Is the straight long enough for Ethan to go for a move? I don't think it is. Batterbones though, looking towards the middle of the track, goes back to the racing line, knows that Ethan isn't close enough. But at the end of the straight into the braking zone, Ethan right back on his tail now. They're keeping on the pressure. And see my memo saying this is not a race, it's a horror movie. Yes. Oh, that's COTA for you. The track limits are absolutely awful. Jan saying Edinomainen is on his last warning as well, so has to be very careful. Yeah, let's bring up some onboard views. As we've got them, you can see there Yaroslav in the top right hand corner and Lapria in the bottom right. Lapria the race leader currently. Yaroslav, where is he on track? What position is he? Oh, he's running in P7 at the moment, but I don't think he's close enough or close to anyone. There we go, 11 seconds back to Ethan, but let's bring it up anyways. As you can see there, he's got another car in front, so obviously not on the same lap. And oh, was that a warning? Was that no time gained there for Yaroslav? It's a bit of oversteer on the exit. Hooschii now, we switch to who's a second back to Melvin, and Hooschii and Oli RSR are close on track once again, so we could see these two battling in these final 10 minutes, in the final 10 minutes of the race. Hooschii's still only a second back. I think Melvin may be struggling now. Hooschii's really catching up. McLaren, quite a good car at COTA. And even with that damage, Hooschii is definitely catching as they enter the penultimate corner, up towards the final corner now. But it sparks once again from the McLaren. McLaren's a very, very low car, and you usually run a lot of rake on it, the front ride height minimum pretty much, unless of course it's a track with a lot of curbs. And the gap's now 7.5 tenths here between Melvin and Hooschii, so the battle for P2 is still on. Ollie is just going to be waiting in the rings for one of these two to trip over each other, make a mistake, or even some contact between the two, for him to then pick up a position. Batterbones in P5 has got Ethan still 1.6 seconds behind. Ethan has been losing a bit of time over the course of the last couple of laps. there was a few tenths between these two. We look down now to Chef BS1 and Kenny, 2 Ferraris. Kenny unfortunately had a bit of damage. I think it was LJ who made contact with Kenny earlier on, and Kenny coming out with 46 seconds of damage, which dropped him right down to P18. I may have cursed it. I did say he was gonna have a top 10 finish. But maybe a top 20 finish this time. I don't want to curse that either. Let's hope I don't. But it's Ferrari versus Ferrari at the moment. Jeff BS1 losing a bit of time now in this last sector to Kenny. Gap's 8 tenths between the two. Looks to be a bit less now. Yeah, it's definitely less. As we now approach the final corner. Sorry, not the... Yes, the final corner. And I think Jeff BS1 there's gained a bit of time back on Kenny as we approach turn 1. Is Kenny going to look for a move down the inside? An absolute send? No, he's not. He's going to play it safe here, but much better on entry. And he's going to have a better exit speed as a result. These two still neck and neck. That's 5 tenths. Doesn't seem like Kenny is closing in as quickly as I thought he would be. Chef BS1 really holding his own here, keeping Kenny behind. I believe it is Chef's AB race at the SimZone locks up slightly there on entry, and Kenny losing some time now. I thought Kenny would be able to close the gap with that lockup, but it still seems to be about 4 or 5 tenths between the two. So maybe Kenny's struggling as well towards the end of this race. Gap's now 8 tenths. You see, it's increased even with that lockup. Now Kenny is still going to keep applying the pressure here onto Chef BS1. That's what he needs to keep doing here if he wants to force Chef into a mistake, because at the moment doesn't seem like Kenny has the pace in that last sector to get past. Well, in this last sector, we're in the last sector now. Well, in fact, I might be completely wrong. He seems to have caught up in the last sector. It may have been the second sector where he isn't able to catch up, but he's right on the tail of the 917 Ferrari, and Kenny goes wide there. Let's hope that isn't a drive-through penalty or a track limit warning. It looks like Kenny's safe. But as a result of running wide, he's lost some time here. It looks like CosmiCrusader is in the pits, so I think that's going to be a DNF from him, which is really unfortunate. CosmiCrusader was running quite a good race up until then. Looking at the deltas between... Oh, we've got so many battles going on actually. We're going to have to quickly try and view this one and then switch back to the battle for P2 and P3. But Irfan is right on the back of Bad to Bones once again. I don't think we'll see an overtake in the S's coming into Sector 2. So we'll quickly switch back to Melvin and Hooschii. Hooschii has closed in on Melvin once again. But he is running out of time to get this move done, get this position back off of Melvin. But the player has completely checked out. 16 seconds, nearly 17 seconds to P2. And I think that's pretty much P1 decided. And now Hooschii has the slipstream. McLaren slightly faster on the straights than the BMW. Melvin there going defensive, but I don't think he really needs to just yet. Hooschii later on the brakes on the outside. And someone's got a drive-through penalty, but just there again with a drive-through penalty. And Hooschii on the outside here. Melvin defending the inside line. Hooschii going to try for a switchback maybe. This COTA is such a good track for racing, getting switchbacks and whatnot. And set someone out so easily into the corners. And it does really provide some great racing, does COTA, even though the track limits are horrible. But with these two fighting hard, DeHuisRocker has closed the gap to 2.3 seconds, so this could be a three-way battle for P2 in just a lap or so. And looking at Barth and Ifan, that battle's died down slightly once again, but Kenny and BS1 still going on, still going at it. Kenny hasn't found a way past just yet. I'm sure Chef is going to be looking at that timer ticking down, and he's going to be feeling the pressure more and more as we approach the final 2 or 3 laps, I think. I believe it is 2 or 3 laps. Where is our race leader, Priya? He's coming up towards the back straight. About to get past some back markers here. And look how close Hooschii is into the braking zone. He's going to get a much better exit as well, and Melvin is in some trouble here. You can see he's not going defensive just yet. If I were him, I'd try and break that slipstream, because Hooschii is going to be using it to his advantage. Here we go, Melvin going defensive now, keeping the car in the middle of the track. He's giving Hooschii an option to go either left or right. Hooschii chooses the outside line to try and get a switch back. He bounces over the inside curb there, and that's given Melvin some breathing room and time to relax. But look who's in the background, look who's joined the action. It's Ollie in the 88 Bentley. Now this is going to really make things interesting. Ollie making a bit of a mistake there, a bit of oversteer, but he is properly in this battle now. And it's just a question of, can he get a position or an overtake done in these final few minutes. So we will have one more lap after this, but where's the 3-0 race leader? Yeah, just one more lap after this. We are on the penultimate lap. Hooschii needs to find a way past. He's caught back up to Melvin. I think Melvin may be struggling with the tyres a bit. One of the Porsches getting out the way. I think that was Fednad who does a good job of getting out the way. And Ollie is on a mission here. He's closed in 3 seconds within the last few laps. We've got Tatter in the comments saying Edinomainen, great stuff in the debut race. He's coming at P8, which is a great position there. He's definitely picked up some places due to people's penalties. Bad to Bones and Ifham still battling it out on track. There's so much going on. Dimmer just has got to serve his drive-through penalty this lap or the next. I think he's actually got to do it this lap. So he can't actually serve it on the last lap of the race. And we've got some traffic involved now, I believe. That's Kenny and Chef BS1. So Ollie not going for a move just yet, neither is Hooschii, but they're trying to navigate past traffic while defending their positions, and they are side by side is Hooschii and Melvin, but Hooschii not able to do it around the outside there. DeHuisRocker trying to get past here. Kenny letting Ollie through now, so he hasn't really lost any time whatsoever. He's right on the back of Hooschii now, but it's still, as it were, Melvin in a P2, Hooschii in P3, and DeHuisRocker in P4. This is a great battle for P2, and I did say earlier that we usually see so many battles heating up towards the end of the race. You've got this 3-car battle as well. Windsor leading this pack, followed by Lord Proth, and then Bezabi, P14, 15, and 16. Lord Proth goes breaks, I think, a bit too early on the inside, and that's going to allow Bezabi to try and get the switch back, but I don't think he's going to get this done. No, backs out of that, and Lord Proth holds on. That's allowed Windsor to pull a gap to these two. We'll go back to the top P2, P3 and P4. Looks like Hooschii tried for a move there into turn 1 but couldn't make it stick, so he's backed out of that, and Melvin holds on here for another few corners. Where is our race leader Lapria? He's still in sector 2. There's another sector to go, and now Hooschii in a bit of trouble here. Oliarasar right on his tail. Look how close he is, glued to the rear bumper, and he's got a much better exit. Is he going to get this job done into the braking zone? Hooshii's having to go defensive. He has to if he wants to keep this position. And later on the brakes for Hooschii, he's going to be able to defend that inside line and hold on here to P3. But now down this long back straight, can Oliarasar find the speed to pull alongside and get past into the braking zone? Dimitristo has cleared his drive-through penalty. Hooschii going defensive now, back over to the racing line, and he's let Oliarasar have the inside line here. Is he going to be later on the brakes to get this move done? They are side by side, almost making contact, and looks like Hooschii has just squeezed through there, threaded the needle, and he has been able to hold on to P2. But where is our race leader here? Coming up towards the penultimate corner, and it looks like it might stay as it is between these three. But they've only got a few more corners to go, but the race leader Lapria rounding the final corner, and there we go. He's going to cross the line and take the win here for the opening round of the SimZone's PS5 GT3 Championship. There we go, flash of the lights there from him. I know, that's a great start to the championship for Lapria. Melvin rounding the final corner is going to hold on to P2. Hooshii's going to hold on to P3. And Oliarasar is going to finish in P4 as well. What a battle between those three. I mean, that was absolutely amazing. But we've still got more guitarists saying they're well done. Just about kept up with it all. It's not over yet. There's still more battles to go. Looks like Batterbones is going to hold on to P5. Ethan in P6. You can see there Batterbones just weaving down the start-finish straight there. They seem to be very happy with their finishing positions. Yaroslav in a bit of no man's land here is going to finish in P7 comfortably. Edinomainen likewise on his own in P8. Walker in P9. Looks like Bezabi and Lord Piroth finished P15 and P16, so Bezabi got that move done on Lord Piroth. Only 4/10 separating each other, separating those two as they cross the line. There we go, Edinomainen crosses the line in P8. Walker is going to cross the line in P9. And SVW still got a couple corners to go. There we go, Walker with a top 10 finish. SVW is going to finish P10. And what a shame for CosmiCrusader. What a shame for Lager as well, who disconnected. So those two DNFs with in the first round. Obviously there is a drop round in this championship, so that will be counted towards their drop round. SVW now into the pits. BSTNNA is going to finish in P11. P Mitch, oh, BST saying hi to the pit wall. P Mitch is going to finish the race in P12. And who else are we waiting for? I think Kingquin, who is going to finish in P23, is running such a good race as well, but the stop-go penalty, or the drive-through penalty I think it was, and the crash he had earlier on in the race forced him to do an extra stop, which is very unfortunate. But he had some great battles nevertheless, and Big Dasmo as well, who I believe is in the pits now, so he has finished P24. There we have it. The Priya in P1, Melvin in P2, and Hooschii in P3. Let's see if we can get some interviews with the top three. There we have it then. The full results are here. Let's have a quick look. Yeah. Let's see if we can get some interviews with the top three. So obviously Lapria finishing P1, Melvin in P2, and Hooschii in P3. But I mean, that was some amazing racing we had. Bit of an interesting start. Coming into turn one, was a bit of contact between some drivers, but we had some great racing anyways. Let's see if anyone is up for an interview. Just bear with us while we while the drivers get out the cars. I'm just checking, it's only sim racing. We'll wait a couple of minutes before we can grab some drivers for some interviews. Yeah, outstanding race we had. There was a bit of contact. I think the stewards are going to be a bit busy towards the end. But as it is, top three, Lapria, Melvin and Hooschii. Looks like we will have an interview with Lapria. So, Lapria, hello. What a race from you. I mean, at the start, you seemed a bit shaky. I saw you go deep into a few of the corners. Was that your brakes not warm enough, or are you just finding your braking points?
Yeah, the first couple of laps I wasn't really feeling it. The whole race went a bit bad, but I got some pace. With the pit stop I was lucky and some incidents. And I came out in a good position with Melvin and Hooschii fighting. And I could pull away a bit.
Yeah, and you've got, what was that, a 16-second lead to Melvin in P2. That's not something you see every day, but yeah, you made it work, and that's great. A great start to the season.
Yeah, thanks. I wasn't really up to speed with the car yet, but maybe slowly, but it came to me in the race a bit, so that's good. Qualifying wasn't optimal, but we still finished well, and that's the best point.
Yeah, of course, it's not always about qualifying. We saw into turn one, there's a few collisions, but I think you made some places from that as a result. And going into round two now, Misano, we've done that quite recently in the 3 Sim Racing Nations event, but that was in the Ferrari, so now doing it in the BMW. How are you feeling?
I didn't feel the Ferrari, but I know I need a lot of practice.
Yeah, the Ferraris, I think, going to be quite quick there. The Porsche is going to be very quick as well. And the Mercedes, likewise. Yeah, let's hope you can get another good result for Misano.
That would be nice.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yes, and thanks for doing this race.
Yeah, no worries. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was your race winner, Lapria, in the comms with us just for an interview. But that is it from us then. We're going to round off this broadcast. Thanks for those who did tune in. Ethan in the comments saying P6, yes, very happy with that one. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be live once again on Tuesday for the Next Level Racing GT3 Championship as well. So make sure to tune in then. But from us, good night and take care.